I'm taking the strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Back again. Episode 66 of the SZN Podcast you're joining us for. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And just before we kick it off, you know the drill now. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, on Twitter. There's a link on the bio on both those platforms. And that link takes you to all of our links where we are on audio sites and also visuals as well, YouTube. So SZN Pod or SZN Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. You'll find us and then make sure you click on that link. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, every week I'm just anticipating this recording, bro, because each week's delivering, man. And once again, this weekend's no different compared to the last couple of weekends. Big fights, big drama, big upsets. So you know what I'm taking us straight away, bro. 2 fights yesterday that I want to break down, but obviously, yeah, we'll go straight to the big one. I would say the one that had all the tongues wagging. Teofimolopez Lopez made his long-awaited return against Kambosos Jr. And is this for the second week in a row? We've seen a massive upset. Teofimolopez Lopez had a shocker. He's had an absolute shocker, really. He's had a mare. Where do we start from this one? Fam, it's fair to say that we didn't see it coming in that sense. Obviously, we highlighted that Teofimo, he might be looking past Kambosos, maybe. Obviously, there's a lot of talk with, obviously him and Haney fighting next and this other man. So, obviously, we're thinking maybe, potentially, he could be looking past him. But even if he is looking past him, the Teofimo that we saw against Vasily Lomachenko is just going to have too much class for Kambosos Jr. It was the guy that we rated. Don't get me wrong. We saw
we said we like him.
We saw him for the first time against Lee Selby, right? And we said, this guy is really good. I like what we're seeing. But what was it we said in that episode when we broke that down?
You said he's good.
Good.
But he's not good.
There's levels, right? There's levels to this thing. And we said, obviously, after seeing Teofimo do that against probably one of the best fighters we've seen in a long, long time in Vasily Lomachenko, where they're thinking, yeah, that's Teofimo. And unfortunately, it's going to be too much for Kambosos, too much class, just levels, like I said. But it's fair to say that, in my opinion, Teofimo has severely underestimated and seriously overlooked Kambosos Jr. And we saw the price. We saw what happened. He paid the price. He paid the price, man. He's lost on the split decision. And I will say this now, Kambosos Jr. was very good value for that win.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been a UD, in my opinion.
The best man won.
And I was obviously we'll take you through the fight, obviously, but I'm just happy that the judges gave my man his due. Obviously, Teofimo is the star here. It's in his bloody home turf, Madison Square Garden, New York. Judges could have easily said nah, but they gave Kambosos, they gave him his due. So I'm super, super happy. Let's start from round 1. Because that round there was a madness in itself, innit? Before I dive into it, I just want to say, this fight that Teofimo Lopez fought was almost like the complete antithesis of his performance against Lomachenko. And what I mean by that is, against Lomachenko, right, we've seen Teofimo be super measured, calm, composed, boxing behind the jab. Just superb performance against, once again, like I say, it's stress of Vasily Lomachenko, who is one of the best fighters we've seen in this generation. Facts. This fight here, though, completely different. Teofimo's come out round 1, swinging like a madman. Absolute madman. And it's one of them ones where, obviously, I know that the pre-fight build-up, there's a lot needed between the two. Teofimo was promising that he's going to knock this guy in 1 round. So I'm there thinking, okay, he's taking this 1 round thing very seriously. He's come in, bro. No jab, nothing. Haymakers, swinging wildly, and just being super, super aggressive. And we've seen Teofimo knock guys out quickly before.
Yeah.
The Richard Comey performance, as we saw, he got him out there. Was it two rounds? He did him?
Second round, I think.
Second round, yeah. But he had him hurt in the first round, I swear. But that was off the back of what? Good boxing. Jab, counter, bang. But I've never seen this guy like this. What it looked amateurish at some point. It looked amateurish. He was swinging and missing wildly, and obviously because he was being the aggressor and Kambosos was on the back foot, obviously he wasn't really throwing as much as him. He was running around. But I think I tweeted on the account, Teofimo was being mad aggressive here, but Kambosos is actually timing him and landing some good counter shots. 10 seconds later, bro, boom. Kambosos counter overhand right, dropped Teofimo. I've shouted. I've jumped. I said, yo, crazy. Yeah, man. What were your thoughts in that first round? Bro,
it was like you say, Teofimo wanted to get him out of there. Wanted to blow him out. And like you say, with the preamble in the build-up, we've never seen the Teofimo so rattled. It was clear to see he was rattled by that first round. He was rattled by. He wanted to get him out of there. He wanted to knock him out. And yeah, Kambosos, like we mentioned last week, this guy's focused. Hungry. He was focused.
Hungry.
Super focused. Like he meant business. And yeah, that overhand right hand. And he caught him with a check hook in that first round as well.
Yep.
So he was timing
the timing was good.
And the timing was good. He's this, like obviously Teofimo came out swinging and was landing and probably hurt him a few times in that round, just of pure aggression.
Yeah.
But Kambosos weren't taking steps backwards. He weren't hiding. He was staying in there. He would clinch when he needed to. He'd move when he needed to.
Now, that's what surprised me the most in that first round alone. That almost set the tone for the entire fight, to be honest, because a lot has been made about Teofimo's power. He's got, their biggest power up and say he's super powerful, blah, blah. And they were saying that Kambosos won't be able to take Teofimo's shots, at least without stepping back, at least. And Kambosos said bullishly in the preamble, I'll take his shots and I'll fight fire with fire. And I'm not going to take a step back. I'll go in the trenches with him. And I'm there thinking, that's not really wise. I mean, Teofimo can bang, like what he did to Comey. Comey, that doesn't happen to Richard Comey.
Yeah.
That does not happen to Richard Comey. And he blew him out of there in 2 rounds. So I know this guy can hit hard. And I know Lomachenko felt that power, which is why he was tentative for a lot of that fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm there thinking, boy, I don't know about this, George, but credit to him. He was taking some big shots in that first round. And like you said, he didn't take a step back once.
Yep.
In fact, Teofimo will hit him. This guy will throw 2 of his own.
Yep. He would fire back.
Straight away, in the trenches, not taking a step back, in there warring with him. And that really surprised me, like I said, because I didn't expect him to be able to take his punches. And obviously, yeah, like you said, he was countering really well and timing really well. So that when he dropped him, I thought, yo, he can hurt Teofimo. He's dropped and Teofimo was shaken. Let's not go. He didn't respect him before, but after that knockdown, you saw in his eyes. He fair. Okay, I'm in a fight here.
Right before that knockdown, he had zero respect for Kambosos because his guard was down. He was walking towards him.
I said it, bro. It looked amateurish, bro. I won't lie. It looked very amateurish.
I think he threw out a sloppy jab that Kambosos just 1-2 boom over the top of it. He threw out a lazy jab. He was hella confident and had zero respect for Kambosos. And that one, you saw him nodding his head in the corner.
He did a nod. He was like, "Yeah, fair, cool."
Oh man, yeah. So that first round, like you say, set the tone for the fight.
Set the tone.
And Kambosos, after the bell rang, he was talking to my man.
Brother,
he was on it.
George Kambosos is the biggest G, yeah, because obviously we're going to round 2. I'll tell you what's the biggest G, but yeah, obviously round 2, Teofimo was a bit calmer, not as wild, still a bit wild, still not really boxing behind a jab, still loading up with the big shots, but not as crazy was in that first one. Like we said, obviously he gained the respect, and that knockdown would have knocked the stuff a little bit out of him, to be honest. But from what I saw from rounds 2 to it was bulk of it, in fact, all the middle rounds, maybe we're getting towards like the later rounds, so like around 8, 9, maybe. I've seen George Kambosos put on a boxing clinic.
Yep.
An absolute clinic. Boxing and moving. Not just fighting on the back foot, not being negative.
Yeah.
As we said, if Teofimo hit him, he will throw in a couple of his combinations. Outworking him, outlanding Teofimo in terms of quality shots, all coming from him. Yes, Teofimo was competitive. Teofimo was landing his own big shots. But to me, the best work was coming from George Kambosos, and he was piecing up Teofimo in there. Piecing him up.
The counter left hook all night.
And
like even his footwork, bro.
Sick.
Oh, man.
Sick. Quality footwork. He boxed out of his skin. And I know you can make of it, did he box out of his skin or was Teofimo having an off night? To me, he did his thing. Teofimo let himself down. You know, Teofimo didn't box the way he should have boxed. And every round, Kambosos will piece up Teofimo. So we'll beat him up in the ring. And then when the bell goes, this guy's cussing him out, giving it to him. I thought, I said, you know when you fight against confidence, you can see they're confident. After that first round, I know Kambosos' confidence skyrocketed. And from then, he just knew he had a beating of this man. So at the end of the belt, they were drawing at each other, but Teofimo was looking deflated and more deflated. George Kambosos was smiling at him, said, yeah, you're in the fight, yeah, giving it to him.
Oh, man. Honestly, Teofimo Lopez looked slightly embarrassed. He was trying to posture, trying to smile his way out of it.
He looked befuddled, man. He looked befuddled.
Oh, man. There was one point, he just got pieced up and he smiled at the camera, sticking his tongue out of the camera. My man's deflated.
He looked so befuddled.
Bro, I wanted to say, Kambosos? This guy, he would circle one way, then circle the other.
Yeah.
Teofimo was confused in there.
And there was a portion in the fight where quite early on, Teofimo switched to southpaw. I don't know what he did that for, because he got pissed off even more. The moment he switched remember that round he switched to southpaw, he was getting banged up. It was even worse when he was orthodox. I said, Teofimo, you better switch back. Even though the commentator was saying, I don't know why Teofimo's done this, there was only to switch to southpaw. It's actually looked worse for him.
How many times have you said it?
We've
said it numerous times. Yeah. These guys switch to southpaw, switch to orthodox, switch to southpaw, and then they look worse because I don't know why they're doing it. They think, maybe it'll give them the advantage.
Yep.
Need to do it at the right time. But
didn't work for him.
Struggling.
He switched back quickly. Man, Kambosos has pieced up Teofimo in there, man. To me, I was giving him the bulk of the rounds. I really, really was. I gave him the entire middle portion of the fight was all George Kambosos Jr. to me. Like we said, the quality work, just giving a boxing lesson, hitting and not getting hit, not negative, being authoritative when he should have been. The jab was looking really, really well. And I was pissed off with Teofimo. I said, where's the jab? You have a brilliant jab. We saw it against freaking Vasily Lomachenko, for crying out loud. What's going on here?
His jab against Lomachenko was varied as well. It was going to the head, going to the body.
That's what won the fight.
Yeah. The jab to the body. I didn't see that
at all.
Didn't see it this time.
Teofimo, throughout the majority of that fight, was just loading up, trying to look for the big shots, the haymakers. And from what I've seen from this kid throughout his career, that is so unlike him. So it was so disappointing. And then it doesn't help by the fact that he's going back to his corner. Yeah, I'm on Teofimo Sr. now. Because this corner work is the most shoddy corner work I've seen, bro. Teofimo Sr., every time Teofimo will go back to the corner, Teofimo was saying, yeah, we got that. That's our round. We won that round. He's tired. Look, he's scared. Knock him out already. Who the hell says knock him out already? What?
What are you doing? Get him out of there already.
What? He might have knock him out already. What? That is so shoddy. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
terrible corner work. His dad saying, oh yeah, we won that round. We won that round. Our round. He's tired. He's scared. Knock him out already. Huh? Your son's getting pieced up. You're saying that?
Yeah.
That is peak. That is so peak. Embarrassing corner work. I'm so sorry.
Didn't hear any advice. Didn't hear anything.
No insights, nothing.
You go over to Kambosos Jr.'s and then they're telling him lateral movement, keep moving, keep confusing him. Keep
double jab.
Yeah. You're hearing boxing advice over there.
Shocking.
And the jab from Kambosos was brilliant. Everything was coming off the jab.
Yep.
He setting up the overhand right hand off the jab. The
Mm.
jab was landing. The overhand right hand was landing.
The overhand right hand was peak. Right. And then he started throwing the uppercut in the mix as well.
Yep. He mixed up with the uppercut. When Teofimo thought he was going to try and catch the right hand.
Yeah. Uppercut real quick. It was a nasty uppercut as well. I was like, yeah, this guy he's showing out right now. He's showing all the aspects to his game at the right time. He's raised his levels, and this is a pro Teofimo crowd. This is Madison Square Garden. This is his backyard, and obviously when he came in, Teo, that crowd was silenced. He silenced the crowd, and it's crazy because you know how earlier I mentioned how this fight for Teofimo was a complete antithesis, complete opposite of his fight with Lomachenko. Remember how the Lomachenko fight went in the sense that Teofimo started amazing, middle portions amazing, but then towards the end of the middle portions, then towards the later rounds, he faded, ran out of gas. Lomachenko's come on strong. Well, this fight was kind of the opposite. He tried to start fast, got his chin rocked first round, dropped. And then he was getting pieced up. But compared to the Lomachenko fight where he faded towards the later rounds, this fight, he's come on strong now in the later rounds. Teofimo's had his rally. I gave him a couple rounds in a row, I think from like round 8 to 8, 9, 10, or that later stretch of rounds. Teofimo's coming in strong now. And in the 10th round, he's got back for the knockdown. His caught Kambosos was kind of off balance, I think. Was kind of retreating, and Teofimo sort of glanced him on the head, and he's gone down. And Teofimo's actually had this guy hurt. Seriously hurt. And we know this kid is a finisher, right? We've seen when he gets his opponents hurt, he gets these guys out there. But was it me, or did this guy let Kambosos off the hook after he had him hurt?
I don't know about let off the hook. Kambosos.
But Kambosos was
showing mad heart to me.
He was close. He was mad hurt though.
He was so hurt. His legs were
struggling.
gone.
Legs were finished.
His legs were gone, but he was like, no way, because this guy was still in the pocket and he was still swinging.
That's the thing. He balls are still because this guy was swinging for the hills despite the fact that he had no legs to stand on. He wasn't really clinching in that. He was still trying to fight and scrap in the pocket, which is crazy hard. But I feel like Teofimo really should have capitalized there, because whereas Kambosos' knockdown was at end of a round, and Teo wasn't that hurt. Like you said, Kambosos' legs were so finished he could barely stand, and I was surprised that Teofimo kind of let him off there. And the 11th, so that 10th round was crucial because Teofimo had come off on I think I gave him like 3 or 4 rounds in a row. He was looking strong. And then obviously that knockdowns evened it out. I think I still had Kambosos up by 1 at that point anyways. But I thought to myself, okay, off this momentum shift here, if Teofimo carries on here, he might be able to nick this fight at least. Or get a draw, maybe.
I agree. I thought Teofimo was going to get him out of there at that point. Because it was so early in the round. Yeah. And I was like, Teofimo's going to come on strong now. But
he let him off the hook. He did, man.
I don't know about let off the hook because, bro, he's been getting pieced up all night. He's been getting counted. He's been getting hit. And with Kambosos still throwing, Kambosos still looking live. Yeah. He was probably a bit wary about getting caught as well.
True. And Kambosos actually was hurting Teofimo throughout that fight, I thought, like we said, mentioned earlier, that was the first time I saw Kambosos, apart from the first round. It's the first time I saw him truly hurt in the fight. He was taking big shots from Teofimo and taking it calmly. And his own shots seemed to be troubling Teofimo more. But at the same time, I hear what you're saying. But as you said, he's been getting pieced up. Unless he claims he truly felt he was ahead. But surely that urgency's got to come into play. Like, this is a close fight. I could potentially be down here. Let me get this guy out of here just to take out the judges' hands because they might have me down. I would have thought that would have kicked in. But obviously we'll come back to that because obviously he made certain comments after the fight that maybe he was deluded, but I don't know. But that 10th happened now. Kambosos survives. I'm happy he survived because I thought to myself, it'll be cruel for him to go like this when he's done such good work up until now. 11th and 12th, obviously, I'm thinking now these 2 championship rounds, crucial. So crucial because it's a tight fight. I think I've got George up by 1 round. Different. I'm looking pre scorecards, obviously on Twitter, and obviously the scorecards, from the what was it, the zone people and that.
Yeah,
Some have got some of I think Chris Mannix also had Kambosos up by 1. I'm seeing people online, like Dan Raphael and them, man, they've got it as a draw, or they might have tear up by 1. I'm thinking to myself, bloody hell, it's tight. He's sort of dragged it back. Which is surprising to me as well, because I thought it was going to be one-way traffic. I think I even tweeted earlier on the count that, this fight's over. I think I tweeted that in round 8, bro. I said, this fight's done. But obviously, then Teofimos had some mad rallies. So I thought, okay, cool. And the knockdown squared things a little bit. What I've seen from George Kambosos in round 11 and round 12, I believe, shades of what we saw Teofimo against Lomachenko. Remember that crucial 12th round where Lomachenko was built up ahead of steam?
Well, it was meant to be crucial. Well, we thought it was crucial, but in the end, it really wasn't. But yeah.
But that 12th round there, where we said that Teofimo showed what he's made of, heart of a champion. This is why he should be the future. Lomachenko had just been piecing him up for a while now, had come back, and you're thinking peak. And Teofimo showed us stuff. He came back in that 12th round, won that 12th round magnificently, assertively, and crowned himself, right? Kambosos has sort of done that same thing in rounds 11 and 12.
Yep.
He's run both those 2 rounds convincingly for me. He's got his legs back in round 11, and he's gone back to what he was doing, boxing him, piecing him up, etc. Teofimo was looking befuddled. He's looking desperate. And then round 12 again, he's done the exact same thing, bro.
Open him up badly.
Yep. Nasty cut Teofimo had, at one point, they even checked. They got the ring doctor to check, didn't they? Because it was a nasty cut, man. Teofimo's face was a mess. Yeah, man. What a performance from George fucking Kambosos.
I was sitting there thinking, you've just knocked him down, and now it looks like to me, Kambosos Jr. might be the one to get the stoppage.
He punched himself out, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
I was looking at rounds 11 and 12. I was like, if anyone's gonna knock someone out, Kambosos is gonna stop Lopez here because he was piecing them up in 2 rounds.
This kid's got so much heart, man. So much heart.
Man, proper warrior.
Proper warrior. I mean, he's Aussie Greek, Spartan heritage apparently. So he's got the whole 300, never surrender tattooed on him and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man,
I can tell that he will fit right in the 300 movie. I promise you that. Like, this guy is never say die.
Remember the Selby fight, and I asked you, where's this guy from? The height he's showing it reminded me of like
crazy.
A Mexican, or something.
Yeah,
I was like, where's his heritage from? But
he's a monster, man. He's a monster in his own right. And like I said, he was full value for that victory, man. So gone the full 12 rounds. I'm there saying after the 12th now, watch, the judge is going to shag Teofimo. I mean, they're going to shag Kambosos because this is the Madison Square Gardens, and it's a fairly close fight. Even though to me, I've got my man up by 2 rounds. Kambosos Jr. I mean, judges' scorecards read out, and obviously, split decision in favor of George Kambosos. Happy days. I was so happy. Fully deserved it.
And he heard clapping.
He was
killing me. Before the scorecards were announced, and he heard obviously Kambosos celebrating on the corner. He believed he's won it, and he heard stood by his corner smiling.
That's why I texted you. I said, Eddie knows. Look at the way he's smiling. He knows he's won.
Smiling, clapping, just there smiling.
Hey, we'll talk about why Eddie Hearn's smiling, because perfect situation for him, boy. Boom. Just inspirational, amazing scenes. Kambosos is an inspirational guy in himself, to be honest, because obviously we talked about hardships and all that kind of stuff, and how hungry he is. And you can really tell, man, when someone's that determined, it's not just words to them, they mean it. And how he's conducted himself, right, his entire, obviously this fight was meant to happen time ago, like last year, I swear, or earlier this year, and it's been moved 8 times. How he's conducted himself, right, this whole thing has been nothing short of amazing. He's a G in my eyes. And how he conducts himself in the ring, G. Not only was he bashing him up and talking smack to him whilst bashing him up, but just how respectful he is as well. I think he lost some family members during the whole camp and whatnot. Had just recently had a child as well. And for both fighters, it's been a bit of a horror show, isn't it, in terms of getting this fight on board. But I ain't trying to hear no excuses from the Teofimo camp, because yes, there's ring rust involved, but Kambosos has the same ring rust because he fought last year as well.
Yep.
Before this fight was made, I saw Teofimo doing an interview mentioning about how he's injured going to this fight. He was like, oh yeah, it happens in camp, blah blah, etc., etc., etc. But I just found it odd he was putting it out there that he was injured before going to this one. I'm not hearing that one either, because I seem to recall when they fought Lomachenko, and Lomachenko's camp came out and said that he was injured. Teofimo's camp didn't have it. They were like, no, too bad. It is what it is.
Yep. He said he was injured for that fight as well. He was injured for the Lomachenko fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. So cool. So I don't care about that.
He's had a kid recently, so it's Kambosos Jr.
So it's Kambosos. Yeah, exactly. So look, no excuses. See, the weight cut. I don't care about the weight cut. Yes, I don't care. I really don't care. I'm not hearing any of it. They lost fair and square, and the reason why they lost is because this guy didn't take this guy seriously. Simple, and that's bad.
That's the funniest one. The funniest one. Teofimo said, we shouldn't have left Top Rank. We shouldn't have fought in the zone. He said, Top Rank are more loyal, and he's learned that now. I was like, what? No, he wasn't saying we. He said, I shouldn't have left the zone. This guy talks like he's the fighter. He said, I shouldn't have left Top Rank. Should have stayed on there. Shouldn't have gone to the zone. I've learnt my lesson now. So what's he trying to say? That it's because they were in the zone that he lost.
Well, Kambosos isn't the zone fighter. So
Well, I mean, you deep. If he was on ESPN and Top Rank, he's trying to say they would have gifted him.
They would have gifted him the W. That's shocking. That's shocking.
That's what I take from what he said. He said, we shouldn't have left Top Rank.
And like I said, it's a. You know me, I'm very consistent in my messaging about I don't discard fighters after they take a loss, right? It's super important to me not to do. I hate it when fighters are labeled as damaged goods and whatnot after they take a loss. This is Teofimo's first loss. The kid's 24. I'm not gonna say now that the win against Lomachenko was a fluke. It definitely was no fluke.
They'll say the takeover's falling through though. Takeover collapses.
Takeover denied, didn't it? No, enough funds.
The
deal falling through. Woo.
Yeah, the takeover falls through, man.
Oh, that's peak. But I'm not going to call it, because certain comments were made by certain other fighters after this fight was made. We'll discuss them as well. But yeah, the Lomachenko victory wasn't a fluke in my eyes. He's not a fraud. That was a superb performance against a generational fighter, and he got the game plan perfectly right. Styles makes fights, all of that, right? But I did not see that fighter yesterday. He fought a completely different way. He fought the wrong way, and I can only pull it down to the fact that this guy was ill prepared. So last week we talked about bad preparation. Teofimo clearly didn't take this guy seriously at all. He thought he was going to be able to knock this guy out in one round, like he said he would, and then move on to bigger and better. And it's come back to bite him in the ass. And it's a bad loss because he's not finished. And I do kind of believe that, maybe he does have issues. They've talked about him struggling to make 135 for a while now. Even the Lomachenko fight, they said it was a struggle for him to get down to 135.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. He can go up to 140. 140 is there for him, and he can do bits in 140. I'm sure he will do bits. He's a great fighter. But there's a way in which you take a loss and you conduct yourself after a loss. First of all, not preparing for it or not taking the guy seriously is bad enough. But then after, in the post-fight interviews where Kambosos, obviously they interview Kambosos first, Teofimo's come to crash that interview and said straight away, I won that fight. He's then also said, oh yeah, I won it 10 rounds to 2. That's how I had it. I said, nah.
He said 11 to 2 first.
Yeah, he said he first had 11 to 2. Deep that the maths off. Maybe this guy, he might have been concussed. CT kick it in, boy. Because then they corrected themselves to 10 to 2. And I think he said something about, oh yeah, everyone here knows I won. The crowd started booing.
Yeah.
Kambosos said, you sure? And then Kambosos said, he said, you need to move up, mate. It was delusional. How could he say you need to? He said, move up. He said, move up. You're delusional.
You need to move up, bro. You're delusional. Oh man.
That is peak. That was poor from him.
The ref did raise Teofimo's hands, as the scores were being read out.
Did he?
He raised Teofimo's hands first.
I didn't clock.
Yeah, Teofimo mentioned that the ref raised my hand, and he did raise his hand. I don't know why the ref done that, because they hadn't even finished announcing.
Yeah.
And yeah, the announcer went, and still
it's because I tell you, it's that I clocked actually. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
he said it's still undefeated, but they're both undefeated.
Yeah, but I don't think the ref clocked that this guy's undefeated as well. Yeah. But obviously it's Teofimo and everyone's a lot. Still. Yeah.
So yeah, the ref, but he still lost. Look, they weren't read out.
It's a loss, and the fact that you've lost on the fact that you're ill prepared and not taking the guy seriously, that's bad, man. That's really bad. And then yeah, like the way you conduct yourself after the fight as well, the sour grapes, sore loser. Everyone hates losing. We know this, but it's a way to do it in terms of you've lost. Look, you congratulate your opponent, you keep it moving, and say, "Oh, I'll be back next time," or "Let's run it back," or something. It's peak now for Teofimo because, yes, like I said, I don't think he's damaged goods. I still think he'll be a world champion at 140 and wherever he goes to. The kid's a phenomenal boxer, but he's left this 135 because I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah.
There's no rematch clause.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Two, as you said, my man struggles to make weight at 135, so he's got to go. As Kambosos said, he needs to move up. So to me, it's mad because you've done all that hard work. How can you defeat Vasily Lomachenko, the Matrix? All that hard work to gain the respect and become the kingpin of the 135 division, and then do that.
Yep.
And then lose it in that way.
And then go for Adrian Broner.
Mad. Yeah, it's a cock up, man. It's a big blow up. I can't lie. It's peak.
I beat that man. Everybody know I beat him.
You know I beat that boy.
I control the fight.
I could.
That's a legendary interview, man.
All of his post-fight interviews are legendary. Because my man goes, "Oh yeah, wait, we said to Jim Gray, I might be 0-7, but I'm 7-0 against you."
His own home crowd burning is peak. Well,
like I said, you've done all that work, man, to gain the respect, be the man at the 135 division, be the boogeyman even, and then you've sort of thrown it away in that way. It's a bit of a bad taste in the mouth, man. I can't deny it, man. Especially we rate this guy. We root for him. We were saying he's the guy they need to see. He is the guy at the top of the tree. And yeah, to lose, there's no shame to lose to Kambosos. Kambosos is a brilliant fighter, as we can see.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it happened, man. It's bad.
Lack of focus, talking about fighting Josh Taylor, beefing Devin Haney, going back and forth with other fighters.
And everything Kambosos said came to light. He said, this guy's been in the bright lights. He said he's a groupie. He's at every event, music event, blah, blah. He damn near called him a groupie. So he's out here at every event, posturing, beefing other guys, etc. He said he's not taking it seriously. That hunger he had for Lomachenko, Kambosos said he doesn't see it anymore. He said that straight up. I don't see the hunger anymore. It's not there. He's now the superstar. Whilst obviously he said he's been in the dark. He's been it was like, Dark Knight Rises, the Bane speaks to Batman, you mean the doctor. I was raised in the dark, molded by it. He was like, he dropped that basically. And it came to light. This guy wasn't focused enough, man. And he thought it would be easy, walk over W, probably looking at Kambosos' resume. Who have you fought? Lee Selby, the best win, or Mickey Bayer, or I don't know. Split decision against Lee Selby. That was an SD, remember? So he's probably there thinking.
Shouldn't have been.
Should have been, but it was. Yeah. Obviously, Eddie tried it. Eddie tried it, but yeah. Looking at that, thinking, yeah, this is food for me. Food. And yeah, we saw what's happened now. But yeah,
he holds all the cards now.
He holds all the cards. I do think Teofimo will be back at 140. Like I said, I think there's fights to be there to be made for him. I still think he can do well in that division and win the title. We will see Teofimo back, but he's got to take a long, hard look at himself. But yeah, enough.
You best
him.
keep Josh Taylor's name out his mouth.
Yeah, that's the one that, because obviously, because obviously, all this talk about Teofimo Haney, Teofimo Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Tank. Obviously, we saw Haney's reaction straight away. He said, "Oh, it all makes sense now. Teofimo's a fraud." Obviously now, Ryan Garcia. In fact, as side note, Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya, you lot are flipping cheeky. You lot are cheeky. Flipping
funny
cheeky.
guys.
I'm seeing Ryan Garcia now say, "Oh, hopefully me and George can get in the ring." I never saw you mention Teofimo's name once.
Not once.
Not once. So I don't know what you're talking about. And Oscar, I think Ryan Garcia beats both of them. Shut up, Oscar.
You need to know, Ryan Garcia is ranked number 1 in the WBC.
I swear he has been for time.
Yep. Devin Haney's he's interim. Ryan Garcia is interim.
Yeah.
Devin Haney's the champion, and Teofimo was franchise champion.
Yeah.
So they all had roads to Teofimo if they wanted. Only Devin Haney really been calling out Teofimo.
Yep. It's poor, man. And then so yeah, that's a bit cheeky from them. And I was gonna say, obviously now, the way Eddie Hearn was laughing, because let's talk about what's next for George Kambosos.
Yeah.
Like he said, he's got all the cards. The reason why I know Eddie was laughing is obviously when he was there basically celebrating with Kambosos before the scorecards are read out. My man has put on this fight on the zone, because this fight, let's not forget, Teofimo Lopez is a top-ranked fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Top rank didn't win the purse bids. Triller won the purse bids. Triller obviously effed up. It's fallen to the people who were second in the purse bid, which was the zone. So not only is Eddie promoted this fight on behalf of obviously top rank and them lot, he's now sending Teofimo back to Bob Arum with no belts. And now we know what Eddie's gonna do. Eddie's recently launched Matchroom Australia. You know that?
Okay.
He's signed about 3 or 4 Australian fighters recently, very, very recently. And he's talking about plans about how he wants to expand to Australia proper. It's just, Eddie's there thinking it's all falling into place because he's got Devin Haney, who he's now going to position for a shot. Obviously, Devin Haney, if he wins his next bout, which we'll talk about, if he comes through that, it's an easy insight for him to make that fight with George Kambosos Jr. for all the marbles in that 135 division. And yeah, it could happen in Australia. So yeah, man, he's smiling. He is smiling.
Another undisputed fight on the cards, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And I'll be real with you, bro. I want George Kambosos to win all the marbles.
Yep, it's me too.
You know why? Because like I said, the way these lot are now chomping at the bit to call out George Kambosos, even Shakur Stevenson was calling him out. Yeah. That to me tells me that they all think he's food. Because like I said, apart from Devin Haney, none of these lot were really jumping at talking about Teofimo Lopez. Hardly any of them was. So they all think this guy's food, really. And I really hope he's able to shock the world again. And I think he's capable of. He's actually a very, very good boxer. So yeah, I want him to go as far as he can, man. I really like him. His dad's interview, we posted up on our Twitter. If you listeners want to check us out, check it out. Just inspirational, man. One of the best boxing dad interviews I've watched. I'm not even joking, man. Just lovely stuff.
You feel happy for
proud of his son.
Jr. Yeah, super proud.
Man. Super
You
proud.
just hear his journey, his mentality, how he's come, and now he's a unified world champion. And you see that in that fight, everything his father was saying about him as a kid.
Yeah,
you sit now, and you see how far it's come. So it's mad inspirational.
He's good as well, man. He's actually really he boxed better against Teofimo than he did against Lee Selby, and we thought the Lee Selby performance was really good.
Yeah,
he raised his game, man. He's a very good boxer, and he showed that he's got pop. Because I questioned whether he had that pop to his punches. Because I don't recall him really hurting Selby that much. I swear, I can't remember.
Selby's bigger than him as well.
Yeah, is he?
Okay. Yeah, so Selby's slightly bigger.
Yeah.
So and Teofimo is bigger as well. So he's not even a huge lightweight. But yeah he has pop.
He has pop. So we saw. I mean, he dropped Teofimo nicely, man. And Teofimo's only been down one time. The only time Teofimo's been down was in his debut. But he doesn't like. He's got a good chin, Teofimo. So yeah, man, just a massive upset. And I'm happy that it's gone to Kambosos. The nicest guy, driven guy, and he's good as well. He's not like Kambosos is trash. This guy's a sick boxer. So shout out to my man. Shout out to my man for real. And Teo, boy, just come back with that same hunger at 140. If it's Josh Taylor, boy. But if it's because Josh Taylor will move up soon, let's be real. He can then make that division his at some point, which I think he can. I think he will at some point. But it's just a bad way to go out of 135, man. Really bad way to bow out. But yeah, sick fight. Sick fight.
Yeah, super enjoyable.
Yeah. Damn. Teofimo. His dad as well, clown. Dad's a clown.
Dad's
no, the way the dad moved throughout this entire thing was peak, man. Embarrassing.
Teofimo's dad's a joker, man.
Yeah. All boxing, we know all boxing dads are crazy. They're all nutters, man. They all like try and live vicariously through their sons. It's so funny.
Seniors actively saying, I shouldn't have done this. He's talking about, what do you mean you're not the fighter, bro? But yeah, he's loudmouth, poor advice.
Yeah, the corner was just pissing me off, man. There was no advice whatsoever. It was just, get him out of there already. That's so bad. That's shades of Tunde, you know. It is. Yeah. Empty the tank. Yeah, anyways. We'll get there anyways. Another fight quickly want to touch upon that happened yesterday as well. Another unification in the super bantamweight. I think it's super bantam. Brandon Figueroa, Stephen Fulton Jr. Yeah, man. This was a barnstormer, wasn't it, bro?
Yeah, sick fight, man. From round one, everyone knows how Brandon Figueroa comes, man.
Yeah,
he doesn't fight tall. He's tall. He's
relentless.
You expect him to kind of jab a move, looking at his dimensions, but my man, he'll fight small, come forward, and just throw punches. Just throw punches. Doesn't matter how many he's taking. He's just there to unload. He threw over 1,000 punches over the course. So and Fulton's meant to have he's meant to box a move, but we saw in the Leo fight that he's happy to bang as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was sort of Figueroa's like relentless energy and just relentless pressure versus for a lot of a part anyway, Fulton's, I guess, boxing skills, technical boxing skills, back foot, counter punching, etc. But it then turned into an all-out war, I guess, didn't it? So
Fulton he won't move because Figueroa was so relentless.
Yeah.
Fulton probably fought most of it on the ropes, but he was landing the counters, he was rolling the shots. He was landing the clean, effective punching over the course of it, whereas the output was coming from Figueroa.
Yeah.
So it was difficult to score. There was a lot of clinching. But it was a barnstormer. These guys were trading, throwing punches, landing, looking like they're hurting each other. And at some points you think, maybe someone's going to go here because that's a clean shot. But for 12 rounds, these two were just going at it.
Yeah. Credit to both warriors for putting their belts on the line because they recently became champs, I swear. I mean, they recently both got their belts in their last fight, basically. So credit to them for, getting in there straight away. No time wasted. To
unifying, young in their prime.
Well, facts. Love seeing that, and it was majority decision win for Fulton. But I guess the general consensus was, I guess, for you, did you feel like Fulton was good value for it? Because a lot of people were saying that not it was a robbery or nothing, but it could have gone either way. Literally could have gone either way.
100%.
And some people even had it a draw. And I think the general consensus is that they need to run it back, not because of the fact that someone got robbed, but because it was close. And because it was a barnstormer, they just want to see it again. They deserve to run it back. But do you feel like Fulton had it in your eyes?
Yeah, before the fight, I picked Fulton.
Yeah, you picked him. I picked Figueroa. Yeah.
So you could maybe say I was being a bit biased, but honestly, if it was a draw, I would have been happy. If Brandon Figueroa got it, fair enough. If Fulton got it, fair enough, because it depends on the judges once again. What I didn't like was the scorecards.
Right.
The scorecards was, I think, two judges had it 116, 112
to
Fulton, and one had it 115, 113 to, and I was like, 4 rounds of it was closer than that to me.
Yeah.
A lot closer.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 rounds. It could have easily been a draw to me. Easily.
Yeah.
So having those scorecards slightly wide, it was a bit confusing to me. But yeah, obviously Brandon Figueroa done the same thing as Teofimolopez after the bell. He's come over, interrupted Fulton Jr.'s interview. He started screaming it was a robbery, saying he won. Everyone knows I won.
I've seen his post-fight, not even in ring, but as in afterwards as well. He was there saying they need to run it back because he was robbed, etc. I know he landed. I think he landed more. Obviously, then you're seeing the effective punches, who landed the cleaner shots would have come from forward. But it's one of them fights, man. It depends on, as a judge, how do you like it? Do you like the volume, or do you like the effect? The clean power shots, etc. It's one of them pick'em sort of things, isn't it? So yeah,
he really was just throwing. He was just throwing.
He's so relentless, man. He's so relentless.
Doesn't matter where it's landing. He was just throwing non-stop. And then when you're seeing his head getting spun while he's throwing, but he still be throwing.
Yeah,
so it comes down to the effectiveness. But Fulton Jr. was quite humble. He was like, "Look, it was a close fight. It was a close fight. Yeah. Either of us could have got it. I'm happy to run it back. We could do it again."
Yeah, I hope they do. Yeah.
Figueroa said, "Yeah, let's do it." Then Jim Gray questioned him afterwards. He said, "No, I've got to move up now." Jim Gray said, "Wait, what? You don't want the rematch?" He's like, "Yeah, I do." But he said, "But you want to move?" Jim Gray pressed him.
His dimensions are very mad. That division, his dimensions are mad. Like, he's tall and rangy, and he's got really long levers. I'm surprised that he fancies himself in the upper weight class, like, because he's quite big. Brandon Figueroa. He must struggle to make the weight, but he doesn't fight. He doesn't fight like he's long and rangy. Even against Neri, we were saying this guy doesn't fight like he's a tall, rangy fighter. He fights on the inside. He just throws bombs. Love seeing that, man. Love seeing that. People. It was
a great fight.
Yeah, man.
I think a lot of people might have had Figueroa winning just because of the volume, and he had Fulton.
I saw that as well. More people were leaning towards Figueroa from what I saw.
Yeah, but at the same time, during the fight, I was pre the tweets. It was definitely 50-50 during. And then afterwards, obviously, a lot of people were coming out saying they felt Figueroa won. But I was watching it thinking Fulton's gonna get this just because of the clean, effective work he was landing. But yeah, great fight. Another great fight. We were spoiled last night. Just obviously not too happy about the sore loser stuff. I know there's a lot of emotions in the title fight.
Always,
big fight.
yeah.
Boxing's a hard sport. You go through camp. Of course, there's going to be emotion. So who am I to say how they should react? But you don't like to see it anyway.
Yeah. Cool. All right, man. Next week, we got some lovely fights. This upcoming week. 3 fights to talk about. I feel like we should start, because we've been discussing the 135 division already. Let's start there. Devin Haney, fresh off him lambasting Teofimo, calling him a fraud, and then obviously mentioning how he wants to get in the ring with Kambosos. He himself needs to make sure that he is not taking his opponent lightly in Jojo Diaz. That's next week. I feel like it's deja vu here, because you know how we said that we thought that Teofimo he should come through Kambosos. All going to say the exact same thing. I think Devin Haney should be coming through Jojo Diaz comfortably. But as you know, boxing, anything can happen. And Jojo Diaz is a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. I actually rate Jojo Diaz quite highly. This has come about because I remember the old back and forth between the two of them.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about it now.
Jojo Diaz is a freaking clown. I'm sorry for what he did. Remember, we killed him. This guy is David Haney, WBC champion, obviously.
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah,
the real WBC champion. And Jojo Diaz has been mandatory for this guy for time. But he's calling him out. And David Haney has said, "You know you're my mandatory, right? All you have to do is write to the board and say you want that shot." This guy said, "Why don't you write to the board?" I said, yo.
It's so funny.
Have you ever seen that, Flowz? Ever?
I've never seen. David Haney's the boogeyman, because people have shots at him and they're calling out other people that he's mandatory. Ryan Garcia, Now Jojo Diaz.
This guy is his mandatory. And Devin Haney said, my mandatory, go enforce that. Go enforce that. And this guy said, why don't you go and enforce it? Huh?
The champion should go and enforce fight in the challenge.
He might be suffering from CTE as well, because that is crazy.
Oh, everyone killed him. He must have deleted that tweet. I hope so.
Oh my god.
Because that's everything that's wrong with boxing right now.
That is so bad. That is so bad. Off the strength of that, he can't win. But he's capable of winning. He's capable of winning. He's a good fighter.
But I will say that's the difference between George Kambosos, because as soon as George Kambosos won his fight that was mandatory,
called him out straight away. Called out
Lopez, and he was saying he was going to win from the get-go. He said, I want it this fight. I want to beat him. Jojo Diaz was looking to arrange fights with other people while he's mandatory.
My question is, Jojo Diaz truly believe he can win this fight? He is, like I said, he's a boxer with ability. But yeah, I mean, now that Teofimo's fallen, I mean, a lot of people are going to say that Devin Haney is now the best in the division by default. Devin Haney is a brilliant fighter, man. Yeah, wonderful fighter, man. So skilled technically, and he's got size as well. I think the only thing we've questioned about him in the past is he a killer? A lot of guys we felt like he should have been stopping, and he didn't stop. Gamboa being one of them. Did he stop? He didn't even stop him, did he, Gamboa?
No.
Did he stop him in the end? No, he didn't stop him. He didn't drop him. I remember because I said Gamboa is notoriously chilly. I said Gamboa has gone down 8 times in his last 2 fights. This guy is notoriously chilly. He didn't even drop this guy. So yeah, Devin Haney isn't a killer from what we've seen. And that's what I want to see from Devin Haney in this fight. I want to see some killer instincts. I want to see you hurt your guy and go at him. And don't necessarily get him out of there, but just show that you've got mean intentions. Because we know he's got the whole hit and not get hit thing patterned. As a boxer, there's going to be, he's probably, apart from Lomachenko, probably is the best boxer in that division, in my opinion.
We've said that he's probably the most skilled out of the bunch.
Yeah. Apart from Loma, but yeah.
Yeah, out of the young guns,
yeah.
But he doesn't have the same pop power and killing instincts. Yeah.
So that's what I want to see in this fight. That's my takeaway for Devin Haney in this fight. I want to see some killer instinct in there. I want you to be a shark when you smell blood in the water. But yeah, it is a potential banana skin, this one. It really is, because Jojo Diaz isn't food. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I guess since that, when he gets Tevin Farmer as well, that was obviously we wanted to, because obviously we were rooting for Tevin on that one, and Jojo Diaz kind of, he beat him. He hasn't really, I don't think he's lost since then at all. He's been on a bit of a winning trail. So yeah, it's a potential banana skin, but I'll stick to my guns here, stick to what I know and what I feel like I will see. Obviously, I called Teofimo to win because I expected to see a certain Teofimo. I didn't expect to see that. But I think Devin Haney is pretty focused. But again, he's another one you see him at all these events.
Yep.
Always the big bust downs on and everything. You see him at all these, he's active, in these public appearances.
Yep.
But I feel like he would have trained seriously for this, because he thought Teofimo was going to come for his fight, and that's the money fight there. You get me? So I think like he would have taken this one seriously. I feel like.
Well, he has to, because he's been doing the same thing as Teofimo. He's been calling out Teofimo.
Yep.
He's been arguing, shaking hands about fights.
Yeah.
So he needs to focus, because right now, matching fighters, make fighters are losing. There's a hella upsets at the minute. So
we could see if Jojo wins this, it's a massive lightweight shakeup, massive shakeup in the division.
Boy, we might have to say Ryan Garcia's number 1.
Brother, all that prospective talk we've been talking for the past year about rankings and whatnot, down the drain, bro. Out the window.
It's out the window right now.
Yeah, we can't. Ryan Garcia number 1. That is nasty. Not to say Ryan Garcia's food. He's good, but it's just these other guys, we had ahead of him still.
Yeah, He should win this. He should win
this. He's got the size and the skills to assert his authority, I think, in this one, to win this one, I reckon. And he better win this, because that Kambosos, you're probably thinking he's probably looking at Kambosos as more beatable than Teofimo. So, man, I hope he wins this. And I know Kambosos ain't going to duck. he's gonna want to make that unification ASAP. So shout out to my man.
So money fights as well for him now. His legacy.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he'll be down.
So yeah, let's say Devin Haney, UD, I guess maybe.
Yeah,
I'll go UD, but I do want to see him have some pop and drop him a couple of times if he can, and yeah, just be careful because it is a potential banana skin for sure. Cool. Gervonta Davis is also fighting. A day later, he's fighting on Sunday against Isaac Cruz. This fight is at 135, I think.
Okay, good.
I think it's at 135.
I hope so. So we can finally add his name to the mix if he's sticking around.
Well, we've been adding his name to the mix, man. He's been in the mix. I think it's at 135. Yeah, actually, wait, let me check because he's defending he's defending one of his belts. Yeah, he's defending his WBA regular lightweight title. So that'll be 135 then.
Regular.
Isaac Cruz. Sorry, yeah, he's got like 3 regular belts, I swear. Actually, no, he's got 1 super belt at 130, I swear. Yeah. And then the other 2, he's got 140, 135 regular belts.
Yeah. I'm
pretty sure. Yeah, Isaac Cruz, don't know much about him. I know he's a late replacement for, obviously, Rolly Romero. His record is pretty good. He's not bad, to be fair. His record, 22 wins, 15 by KO, 1 loss. He beat Francisco Vargas, who I know. He was in a fight with a good fight as well. Vargas fought Bachelt. Lost to Bachelt. He's beaten Diego Magdaleno as well. I know of him. He was a good fighter. Yeah, good resume. I mean, good record, this Isaac Cruz, but I'm expecting fight. I've never seen him fight. I'm expecting the usual tank explosion. The usual tank bomb to detonate.
Hopefully not another upset, but yeah, I doubt it.
I'll tell you what's killing me. Tank's last 7 or 8 now, once he fights Isaac Cruz, they've all been Hispanic.
That's the money team.
Tank only fights Mexicans, Argentinians, and just Spanish speaking. You know how funny that is, man.
That's the name of a blueprint for you.
Oh my gosh. All his fights have been against Hispanic guys in the last 8 fights. That is hilarious. That is funny as hell.
They know it splits boxing fans, so it's good for
because they know that their man pay up and they support their guy in draws. So, yeah. He's gonna go through every single Latino fight I watch as much as possible. Mm-hmm. So yeah, should be a formality for Tank. We hope. Trying to think what I want to see from him in this fight. So there's not much I want to see from Tank. He brings excitement every time, to be honest.
Yeah,
so.
I ain't trying to see it. This ain't a huge fight for him.
Yeah.
So I ain't trying to see anything new.
Yeah,
just
true.
Do what you do.
Do what you do and knock your guy out, which is what you tend to do.
And stick around.
Yeah. What you want. Cool. Let's talk about the fight now that I'm most excited for next week. This is the one I care about the most, bro. The rematch is here. Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yarde, part 2. I'm so excited for this. I keep seeing, obviously, BT Sport and that, watching the football, and obviously the adverts. You see the little promo advert where Lyndon's walking through the street. I'm out using my right hand this time. Yo, the promo's getting me gassed, man. It's getting me gassed. I'm excited for this, man. Let's talk about it, bro. Let's talk about it. Last fight, super close. Controversial to some, not controversial to a lot of people. I think a lot of people had Lyndon winning. I actually had Yarde winning, but it was mad close.
Yeah.
Both mad cagey, super tight affair. Literally not much, tiniest amounts in it, man. So the rounds were so hard to score. I remember that as well because they were so cagey. And not many punches were landed. And even though it was a cagey fight, I actually didn't find it boring because it was mad tense.
Yeah.
Mad tense. And I was watching, obviously, both guys, the defensive work from both of them was so good. I thought to myself, this is actually it's on a knife edge. It almost exploded in the last round. But yeah, Lyndon Arthur got his W. I wasn't too mad. Like I said, it could have gone either way. Fast forward now, obviously, the rematch has happened. They've had a couple of fights in between. A lot of talk between the two camps. Some bad blood between the two camps. It's funny because I always get the impression that these two, they could be brethren, they could be mates, if it wasn't for the fact that they're both on opposite sides of the street, going at each other. And I do think there's that mutual respect now between the two of them, for sure. But still, bad blood. Obviously, during the whole build-up, we've seen Tunde, Mr. Marmite himself, Tunde Ajayi, go out with Pat Barrett. I think Pat Barrett is threatening to punch him in the face. He's walked out the press conference, and even Yarde telling Tunde to calm down a little bit, like relax. Yarde was vexed. Yarde was pissed off with it.
Yeah.
Tunde is Tunde. He's going to try and get under your skin. He's just that type of character in it. I think in terms of the build-up as well, we've learned that Yarde added a new co-trainer to his camp. And we said this was a great move for him because of the fact that we're not happy with Tunde's corner work. Let's be real. We're not happy with Tunde's corner work. I'm going to call it how I see it, man.
Yeah.
Tunde's corner work has been shoddy in the past, as we've seen, and we felt like having a boxing guy in there for Yarde, another set of eyes, who's a guy who's a boxer or has a really good boxing background, will pay serious dividends for Anthony Yarde. And yeah, so he's added that guy to his camp. I guess his last fight was the first time with that new guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, James.
But obviously the last fight ended in it wasn't much of a fight, so we didn't actually get to see anything. But I can promise you, we're going to see it in this fight. I promise you that.
You have to see something. We'll see something.
Because Lyndon Arthur isn't food, as we've seen, and it's interesting because Arthur, I guess, there's not much we can say because Yarde's last fight was a bit of a farce. It was easy work for him. And Arthur's last fight, he didn't look too great, did he?
Yes.
He kind of struggled a little bit. But I'm throwing all that out the window because this is a fight that both of these guys will definitely be up for. I hope anyways. And they're both coming into this one, I think, with things to prove. Arthur, I guess, is, it wasn't a fluke last time and I truly deserve to win it. I beat him with a jab last time. I'm going to be more convincing this time. Obviously, Yarde kind of fighting for his life, to be honest. He kind of is because he's taken a couple of losses already. And now he's losing at domestic level. Obviously, the domestic level is super high, but with someone with world title aspirations as he does, it's like, another loss here could be quite bad for him. So yeah, he's got a lot to prove as well, man. There's a lot riding on this one, I think. I feel like there's so much riding, don't you think?
Let's get to the meat. How do you see this one going, bro?
Like last time, I paused the Yarde.
Yeah.
I'm going Arthur this time.
You're going, But how do you?
I see it playing out.
How do you vision the fight? Because
Lyndon Arthur's jab is world class, and it's going to continue to be world class.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be as cagey as the first fight at all. The first fight was mad cagey because I think they were both just very wary of each other's strengths.
Yeah.
Yarde was wary, but obviously the jab was giving them all kinds of problems, and obviously the jab and the right hand combo. Arthur was worried about getting caught by Yarde. Yarde's explosive power, we know it's well wanted. We see it. We've seen it all the time. He hits bloody hard, which is why he was so reluctant to throw the right hand, because he knew that if he overshot it, he'd be open to a vicious counter from Anthony Yarde. I feel like this time they'll both be more relaxed. I really do think they'll be both relaxed. Still be cagey in portions. I feel like Arthur's jab is still going to work wonders for him. He just has that natural, I think, advantage of the fact that he's got a brilliant jab, and just he's taller than Yarde and rangier than Yarde, so he really knows how to use his tools there.
Yeah,
Yarde being shorter than him, he's gonna have to really rely on his head movement again, which was A1 last time.
Yeah,
it was A1. Yarde isn't known for being a good defender, but that head movement and body movement was so good last time that he looked the guy that was, that was defensive master compared to Arthur. I see it being like the first one, just being slightly less cagey. That's it, really. I think slightly more relaxed. I think Arthur has a point to prove in terms of throwing his right hand, and he will look to throw the right hand a lot more this time.
And he landed it last time when he did throw it.
It was a mental thing last time. To be fair, apparently he actually was truly hurt, but mentally, I I don't think he had confidence in it because of the fact that one, maybe it was hurt, and two, because Yarde is defending really, really well. Like I said, if he shoots it and gets countered, it's long for him.
Yeah.
But because he landed at that time, landed it flush, I almost think that that's going to give him a confidence fight in this fight, a confidence boost in this fight, where he'll be happy to throw that right hand a bit more and to catch Yarde. He showed he can catch him. And there'll be portions where I think Yarde will catch him, as he did in the last fight. But Arthur's going to weather the storm again. I see it going 12 rounds again, to be honest. Yeah. I'm going Arthur UD this time.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going Arthur UD.
I think Arthur. Yeah, I think Yarde will come out with a different game plan. I think in his head he has to go for a knockout. I think he wants the knockout.
I think he always has that in his head, though. Yarde always cares about knockout.
I don't think he did last time.
Really?
I think he felt like he was winning, and he was winning comfortably. He wanted to shake because the storm came in the end. He didn't really press the action for a knockout up until the 11th, 12th round. I think this time he's going to try to start a lot faster.
Yeah, he will.
I think we'll expect the storm a lot earlier. I don't know if he's going to come out wild like Teofimo did from the first round and try to get him out of there. He shouldn't do that, because if that fails, we've seen him gas before. We've seen him try to empty the tank. We've seen him gas, and if he gasses against Arthur, he's going to punish him. So
I think if Yarde hasn't got this guy out of there in the first 5 rounds, it's all Arthur to take, I think.
Yeah, it could be. It just depends. Once again, I just think a storm will come for Arthur in that fight.
Yeah,
and
early.
I think it'll come out much earlier than the 11th or 12th. It'll come.
Yeah.
But once again, it's whether Arthur can weather that storm, and if he can, then he should win it. Yeah. And like you say, I think we'll see a lot more of the right hand. I think we'll see a lot more action in this one. But yeah, I always say when I'm making predictions, I can only go off what I've seen previously.
Yeah.
Like, I know what Yarde should do. I think I know what he needs to do, or what he can do, or he should be able to do, should I say. But we haven't seen it from him.
At all.
What we have seen from Arthur, it's a great jab.
Yeah.
He can fight on the inside and mix it up as well. And that's why I led towards Arthur last time.
Yeah.
Even though maybe arguably Yarde was the favorite. So yeah, it could go either way. If Yarde starts fast and hurts him, and then can start to break him down, then he could take it. He can't try to play the jab game or the boxing game with him, because that didn't work for him. He needs to get into him, use the head movement, get to him, break him down to the body, land some shots.
Yeah, I was gonna say, get in there on his chest, body work.
Yeah,
smash.
Make it a bit of a fight. Make it
uncomfortable for him. Make it super uncomfortable to look for Lyndon.
Can't let him settle into his rhythm with the jab.
Lyndon's a rhythm guy, and he's super comfortable. Once he gets into that rhythm on the outside with the jab, at a certain pace, slow pace, he's super comfortable. Yarde's gonna have to break that and make it madman uncomfortable for him. Honestly,
make it his fight. You can't let Lyndon fight his fight.
That's the best chance. Up the pace and just make it super uncomfortable for him, and that's how he can get the W.
But, Yarde should be super hungry. This is almost like last chance saloon for him. So he'll be going for the knockout.
Yeah.
And if he's looking to be dangerous in there, he's almost like his back's up against the wall. That's a dangerous prospect.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good fight. 50-50 again. 50-50.
But levels between them, it's not like one is a class in there, and they're both around the same to me.
Yeah.
You might say, Lyndon might be slightly better or whatever, better boxer maybe, cool. But they're similar levels in my opinion. They're civil, even though Yarde's had a few more. Well, Lyndon hasn't lost, and Yarde has 3 losses, right? The 3 losses or 2?
Lyndon's undefeated.
Lyndon's undefeated, but Yarde has what? Is it 2 or 3 losses?
2,
yeah. So obviously, but even with the 2 losses, like I said, the levels are so similar between both of them, man. Honestly,
once again, it's down to game plan, down to corner work, it's down to other factors rather than just their skills as well. So It's whoever turns up best prepared, most motivated.
Tunde.
Who has the best in fight. Yeah, it's a lot of things. Yeah, definitely goes beyond just the two fighters this time.
Yeah.
Or just, But the best man will win on the night.
And we know Team Alpha going to have good corner work. We know what Pat Barrett's on. I'm very intrigued to see what this new corner setup, if there is a new corner setup with Anthony Yarde, with Tunde there and this other guy. Or if it's just going to be Tunde in there. Boy. Because Tunde, I don't think it's going to change. His advice and stuff won't really change. So I really, for Yarde's sake, I hope this other guy is there, lending it. I hope he's there also in his other ear, telling him Wagwan. Because, Pat Barrett's going to give sound advice. He's going to give sound insights to Lyndon Arthur. That's the type of guy Pat Barrett is. So,
hopefully he's not too emotional this time. But there's crowds are back this time as well. So we didn't have crowds last time. So a lot of things will make a difference here.
We're going to hear a lot of lying in the camps.
We heard it last time, but then
we did. Yeah,
we always hear it.
Yeah,
but it should be a good fight.
I'm excited for this one. Like I said, I'm more excited for the American fights that we've got going on next week. This is the one I look forward to the most, man. It's potential to be a great fight. Like I said, cagey in portions, but I think definitely more action than. I mean, it's not hard to beat more action than last fight. Last fight didn't kick off till the 12th. So this is good. I think it's got a lot of people divided. This one, it's got a lot of people divided. But both what you going Arthur UD as well?
If I had to make a prediction, I'll stick.
I'll go Arthur this time as well.
But really and truly, I honestly believe this one could go any way.
Yeah,
just because it depends on who turns up and how.
I hope Arthur's been focused. Obviously that beating Yarde last time was a massive spring. I don't want to say massive, but it was springboard for him.
Yeah,
him in the conversations as one of the guys, and we did say he didn't look great in the last fight, or didn't look as good as he should have been in his last fight. So I really hope he's focused on, because it's always hard when you beat the guy. We saw when you beat the guy and having to rematch him. Sometimes it's quite hard to get yourself up for that same hunger it was when you beat him the first time. Sometimes you might say, "Oh, it's easy. I beat him already. I can overlook things, etc." It's tough, doing it back to back. It really is.
Yeah, there's been a lot more bad blood in this time. Both camps have been a bit rattled.
Yeah.
I think if Yarde's to win, he'll win by stoppage.
If
Yarde's to win, he'll be going for the stoppage.
Yeah.
But then if you don't get the stoppage and he tires, Yarde could get him out of there as well.
Arthur,
Arthur could get him out of there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows? I just want to see it.
Yeah, can't wait, man. Next week's gonna be good, man. Some good breakdowns coming, man. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's leave that there. Just before we round up, we want to touch upon one more thing. We've had an announcement. I like to call it the Battle of the Washed. Amir Khan, Kell Brook, loser retires match. In fact, they should both retire match. It's been announced that they've come to agreement. It's going to happen on, I think, February the 19th. Or, around that time in Feb. 8 years too late, but they're both looking to get paid. Don't really care about this too tough. But, I thought I'll mention it. Both of them are finished. Both of them are very, very, very finished.
I have nothing to say on it.
Huh?
I have nothing to say on it.
Yeah, nothing to say. They both need to retire afterwards. The build-up's gonna be so stupid. But at least let them get their coin in
it. We've talked about this in the past.
Such a shame. It's such a shame it didn't happen when they're both in their prime, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Because that would be nice for the UK as well. Probably gonna see a horrible boxing match, but hey, is what it is. It will still do big numbers though.
Was that Joe Budden interview where he got up with Amigos? What did he say there? Are we finished?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like about this fight, man.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up.
Man said, let's wrap this up. Man walks to drop the mic, walks off.
Yeah, that's how I feel about this fight.
Yeah,
get up and move on. But shout out to them.
Shout out to them, man. All right, cool. Yeah, man. Let's leave it there. Another great episode. Episode 66, SZN Podcast. You don't know the drill. Keep giving you that good boxing content I've been your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And yeah, make sure you keep it locked with us, man. Check us out on the Twitter and Instagram. Hit the bio there. Peace.
Get a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.